Hey, what's up? It's Ryan here. In this section, we're gonna go over trend lines. All right. So I just want you to understand what a trend line theoretically means is that when price extends into the future, that the market will predict is it gonna bounce off of support or resistance, and to make a valid trend line, you need about 2 to 3 taps theoretically. Some say three. I say 2 to 3 because in most cases it's just going to happen anyways. So very simple. Only thing we can do is grab a trend line. Now, some people when they have trend lines, they have it set. Where you go to comment, you can change your length of how you want your trend lines to make it thicker. But in some people's cases, they have it set to raise. I personally don't have it set this way because I don't do bullish pennants or anything like that. And drawing a line to the future is really, really hard to dictate where price is going to go if you have it set this way. Okay, so I don't do it that way. What I do is I clip mine on Ray, leave that checked, and I extend it to the future. All right, so let's get started. I'm gonna do a couple of trend lines. I'm not gonna have it too long in this course because in my last video, I'm gonna call it tying it all together. Um, it's really going to elaborate on how to really utilize that with everything I'm gonna go over. So take lots of notes. Go back, play, rewind this video if you need any more help to guide you how to draw trend lines properly in future. Okay, so very, very quick. You have a trend line that I can draw right here. Basically, as you can see, it's very important that you see this. In this area, we have a slope. Oh, that's a bad idea. All right, so right here is a slope. See how it's an angle? This is low and this is a high. This is low, this is a high. Right, that is telling me that there was an area of support, bottom support, top is resistance. There was an area of support and an angle that the market was acting as a trend. Okay, so if we get a trend line and we drag it from here to here, you will have that angle, and as you can see, it remains true. See, boom, right? Boom, that's connection. Boom, that acted as resistance. Market did go through it, came back, that's his resistance. And then, as you can see, the market did gap all the way up. Kind of skipped the trend line. Crazy gap. And then came at support. Right, that's resistance. Played around a little bit, then actually dropped. But the truth of the matter is, you know, to also measure your gaps, by the way, or just measure price, okay, to dictate how many pips you got for the day. It's very simple. You drag it from the high to the low, or the low to the high, or to wherever you want to in the future. Now you're gonna see on the left side, you're gonna see number 10. And there's gonna be a slash, and then you see number 1272. You drop the two. The two don't count. You could say that's 1,272 micros, but the last number don't count when we're counting pips. That is equal to 127 pips. Okay, so the market dropped that day 127 pips. If you had a standard size lot, by the way, that would have been $1,270.20. All right. Now, the market, as you can see, this is just one trend line. Now, to determine another area of trend, basically is very simple. You're just going to go find a high. You zoom out a little bit. You actually grab it from this angle, try it, and get some highs, get some lows. It's a very, very simple thing to do. Zoom in, see what price is. By the way, click this to scroll around your charts. If it's clicked, it will basically go back to current where the market's at. So right here we have a low, and right here we have a low. As you can see, there was only 2 hits, and then boom, it broke it, acted as resistance, the market fell. Okay, as you can see here, this acted as support. This acted as resistance. And as you can see, it was closing the gap. When price is closing these gaps, it basically is indicating that market, right, that the market is getting ready to do a breakout. And that's all it really is the market is closing a gap. Okay, and every time you see the market do that, it is just called a breakout. It's getting ready to close it, went up, boom, boom, broke it. It's very simple, highs and lows. Let's go back to look at some more trends. You can also do them off a structure, inverted head and shoulders. Right here, this is a shoulder. Here's the head, and here's your shoulder. Let me show you that. Boom. Here's your shoulder. Here's your head. And then once again, here's your shoulder. You get a trend line. You can draw one trend line from here to here. Remains true. That's one hit. That's two hit. That's three hits. That's four hits. And then extends to the future. And then eventually a big candle broke it. Remember, extends to the future. Price eventually will respect this line in the future at one point in time. When you see a big candle that breaks it, that indicates that the trend is going down. In my other videos, it will explain why the trend moves like this, but as well, the trend line plays a nice factor while using confluence to determine how the market is going to dictate where it's going to go in the future. Right here, once again, here's the slope, as you guys can see. Girls, kids, ladies, men. Here's the slope. I connected it right here to here. Basically, what it did was it told me where price was going to go into the future. Okay. Boom, boom. Resistance. Supports. Supports. Price shot up. Resistance. And that's all trend lines really is. It's just having fun drawing off of structured areas. It's nothing too confusing to do. Dictating where price is going to go. Here's another one we can draw. Nice setup. As you can see here, another head and shoulders pattern. This pair does it a lot. Here's a shoulder. Here's a head. And then once again, here's another shoulder. Nice and beautiful setup. Alright, made a higher high. If it's going head and shoulders, usually when you see it making a higher high, it's dictating that price is going to go up. When it's an inverted head and shoulders, it's the right shoulder or the left shoulder. In this case, if it's an inverted head and shoulders, it'll be your right shoulder will make a lower low. If it's an inverted head and shoulders, it'll be your right shoulder as well, making a higher high. Okay. Now, one of the biggest things about this whole entire factor is that when you're drawing your trend lines as well, you can actually get it, like I mentioned, not only off of those shoulders. It will determine how to read the trend for double bottoms. As you can see, this is also a double bottom before it went into inverted head and shoulders. That the market will actually go into a breakout phase. So this is like a nice angle to determine what was going to happen in the future. See right here, double bottom. Remember, double bottom is going to happen to the low. Double tops are going to happen to the high. In this case, there was a double bottom. See, double bottom, boom, right? Market came back down, did another double bottom, boom, respected that trend line. And the breakout, due to time zone trading in my other videos, I can see on the 1K day template, 1K day video down below in the O section, you're going to see right here in the 14 GMT time, right before New York opened at the 15 mark, the market was already breaking out. In Eastern time, this is 7 a.m. Eastern time, and this will be 8 a.m. Eastern time. New York opened right here, and it was breaking out. And as you can see, the market that day, it did push for 138 pips, and it did a nice double bottom. Last legs always spike, so if you see the last leg on a double bottom forming, yeah, that's gonna break out. And here's the entry, and then you can tell the entry was right here at the neckline. But since the price was getting ready, it broke the resistance, and it broke the resistance of that trend line, you already knew, since the candle, when I say break, the candle must break it and print over it. If it does, well, congratulations, it just broke that trend. So that's all it really did, and then prices shot up and then went back down later on. And that's due to using levels, which I will explain in the next video. No, a couple of next videos from here, which will be underneath the divergence in levels video. So that basically concludes trend lines. I'm just gonna draw one more just for giggles. Right here, as you can see, connected it to that slope. Once again, it broke the trend line right here, consolidated, and then it took a big candle to break that trend. So once that happened, you can identify the trend was going back down. So that's what basically trend lines really is. Basic support and resistance off of angles to determine where the trend is, to act as an area for entry, confluence, or even exit point on your trades, or in some cases entry points. So let's stay tuned for the next video, which I'm going to do, which is going to be on supply and demands and structure.